They told me I will be making between 300 and 500k monthly, and that sold me. They gave me the financials. It was very convincing. So as a business person, for me that made sense, only to find out even the financials, I don't think that like legit.
Taryn, how much did you invest in total?
For inception, I would say about 2.5 million, and then about another million in the 7 months that I was running. The bulk of it was my pension after leaving the bank after 17 years.
If I had to turn back the hands of time, I would have definitely not bought into this franchise.
It's derailed my entire life.
I feel like I'm about to lose everything that I've invested.
It was the worst experience of my life.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I just want us to talk about Viljoen and her husband, Peet Viljoen. I hope I'm pronouncing their surnames right. These are two celebrities in South Africa who are currently trending for all the wrong reasons, and apparently they have scammed people using the franchise Tammy Taylor brand, saying that you can buy this franchise and you will make a lot of money. Obviously, people were scammed. They paid millions into this franchise. I just want us to talk about that for a minute. These are the people who are well known. Mel's husband used to be a lawyer, and he was disbarred from practicing as a lawyer because of corruption and fraud cases that were leveled against him, and the judge decided to end his career. So Mel and her husband came up with this idea. They will have a franchise called Tammy Taylor. Well, Tammy Taylor USA is a franchise from USA, and it was established in 1983, and that company was just supplying with professional salon products. So they were selling acrylic powder, all the things you can think of when you're starting a nail salon. So basically they were providing those products, especially if you've got sensitive nails. So they were saying they have good products, and it became a franchise in America, so people would buy this franchise. When you are buying a franchise, that means you're going to have to pay the royalties. Secondly, you have to follow their protocols and procedures. Basically, you're going to get the products that you're going to sell from them. So not the other way around. You have to respect their brand. Think of KFC, think of McDonald's. They are very successful. Talking about big franchises that are very successful. Also think of ShopRite, for example, in South Africa. It's doing very well in townships and also in towns, because people who are supporting ShopRite are basically price sensitive people. So franchises are there. It's not like it's something that someone can just come and scam you. When you're buying a franchise, there's a money that you have to pay upfront. Maybe they can say pay $1 million or 1 million just to buy a franchise. Then you'll follow their rules and procedures. They will tell you where you're going to get your stock, where are you going to get your products, and all those things, and you'll have to pay the royalties to these companies because it's a well-established franchise. People know about it, and you'll get customers just because you are buying something that is already known to the communities or to the society. So it's not going to be a problem. It's a fact that you are going to make money. So let's get back to the Tammy Taylor. When I was doing research, I think they once bought products from this brand, which is Tammy Taylor, or maybe they once bought the franchise. So it's not clear whether they have bought the franchise before or bought the products. Talking about acrylic powder, all those things when you have a nail salon, all those things that you're going to need. So I think they bought products, in my understanding, not necessarily they bought the franchise, because when you are watching all these videos, it's not clear whether they bought the products from Tammy Taylor USA or they just bought the franchise. But in my understanding, I think they bought the products and they've realized that this product is very good. We can also sell it here in South Africa, and they've decided to, use the brand Tammy Taylor. That's when they started telling people that, you can come and buy this franchise. It was more of like they're operating as if it's this salon, you'll get this salon that has products from Tammy Taylor, but you'll have the contractual agreement with them, not the Tammy Taylor USA. That's how they were able to actually scam people, if I can put it that way, because there are so many people who came out and said they've been scammed by Mel and her husband. And it's so unfortunate that it will always be women who are mostly scammed. I'm not saying men are not being scammed, but when you are seeing those videos, it's women who are actually scammed. I understand it's a beauty salon, and men are not really interested in beauty stuff unless if they are going to make business. So these guys were like, buy this franchise, because I had somebody saying they were scammed about 2.8 million rand. I think that's Happy Simelane who stated so, and they went to the police and opened a case against this two. The case went nowhere until they were deported from America. Melania said, I invested about 2.8 million rand. I did not receive any cent. So the court ordered Mel and her husband to pay that amount of money. And she hasn't received any cent. And yeah, you can realize that these people have been scamming a lot of people. And there are so many women who came out and said, who did the interviews, and basically said they were scammed by those people. I'm just going to use the word allegedly. So they were alleging that they were scammed millions by those people. And I had somebody who said they took out their retirement investment and they bought this franchise and they didn't make any money, so they were basically scammed. That was very painful to watch, I'm not going to lie. So these people scammed a lot of people and they've been getting away with it. So they went to America, they were arrested, and they were doing shoplifting. Basically, they were doing shoplifting. They were actually robbing the retailers and they were arrested, and the ICE deported them. ICE is responsible for immigration. Actually, ICE is a department that is responsible for immigration in America. The husband of Mal was actually arrested in OR Tambo. When they were arriving, the police arrested this guy. Apparently, the husband has 400 charges. He has been charged with 400 charges, including fraud, corruption, blah, blah. Apparently received about 27 million rand for a land somewhere in Johannesburg, and it was a scam. My conversation is not going to focus on that one. I was just giving you the background of these people. I just want people to be aware of the scammers, because today scammers are very smart. We are talking about people who are educated. Mel's husband was a lawyer, by the way, but he was disbarred because of corruption. Scammers are very, very smart today. You're not going to get scammers that are not educated. So they think they can't sell you something that is very questionable. When you think of Tammy Taylor, actually there is a franchise called Tammy Taylor USA. So, when somebody is telling you all of this, you'll be interested. Like, yeah, I'm just going to make money. I know this brand. This brand is from USA.
Wow.
I forgot to mention that the Tammy Taylor USA complained, and the court ordered them to pay. When you convert that money into rand, it's about 71 million rand. They're supposed to pay that money. I'm not so sure whether they have paid that money or not, but I don't think they've paid that money. 71 million rand, that's a lot of money, because they were complaining. They were saying they are using their trademark. They should stop using that trademark of Tammy Taylor, because they are lying to the people. And apparently they were not even buying the Tammy Taylor products. They just created their own Tammy Taylor products, and they branded those products Tammy Taylor SA. Think about it. If you've had Tammy Taylor USA, you'd say, oh, it's Tammy Taylor SA. Probably these products are from America. Let me buy it. But they have made that franchise and sold it to the people. People were interested, and then they bought that franchise, and it did not go well. They didn't make any profit. I saw Happy Simelane explaining how she was scammed. She said she paid this money and then she was supposed to get like a salon in Min Lane, and she was not even given keys for the salon. I don't know how it actually happened, because she was told that she's going to make about 300 to 500,000 rand monthly, and that did not happen. She was complaining about that. Obviously, she opened a case. Mel's husband was the one who was busy engineering the contracts, and Mel was just advertising this Tammy Taylor franchise to her followers, because obviously she's a celebrity and many people believed her and they bought that franchise. I made a video about a week ago talking about the AfroCrypt scam, and that AfroCrypt scam seemed legit because Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies are there. People buy cryptocurrencies. Even Elon Musk invested in Bitcoin. He bought Bitcoin. He bought other cryptocurrencies. There are so many famous business people who are endorsing the cryptocurrencies. There is somebody who I know personally who has made a lot of money, and they were using Luna platform. I also made something because I'm actually using Luna platform, even though I withdrew all the money. There's like nothing in that platform on my account. So yeah, so people are using real businesses just to lure people, just to lie to the people, just to convince people that, you know what, there's this thing called, there's this business, you can invest here. Sometimes people don't do proper research. They would say, oh, okay, it's fine. I know Tammy Taylor, USA. That thing is legit. Let me invest my money. I think it's very important to understand numbers when you are doing business, when you are deciding to invest. You need to understand how long has that business been there in the market. Have they made money? Are they making any losses? How many people have invested in this franchise? You know, don't look at the advantages only, whereby you know that it's a known brand, obviously you're going to make money. Ask that person who's selling you that idea, can you show me the stats, can you show me the data, like how much have you made? If you are saying this franchise is good, can you show me the financial statements? And financial statements don't lie. You need to ask real tough questions, because you are going to invest your money. Imagine somebody lost their retirement funds. They lost their retirement investment because they believed that this franchise will make them a lot of money, only to find out that they were scammed. Who are you going to talk to? Mel and her husband might go to jail, but you'll never get your money back. You've worked hard for this money, and here someone is just going to scam you just like that because you did not do a proper research. If something is too good to be true, like, why are you investing into that business? Because that's the first red flag. I mean, Simelan was supposed to ask, if I'm going to make this 300 to 500,000 rand monthly, how's about I go to the salons, like different salons? She should have gone to professional salons that do nails and ask them, how much are you making? Can you just estimate how much are you making monthly? Can you roughly estimate how much are you making monthly? How much are you making on a daily basis? Somebody can just lie and say you're going to make 300 to 500,000 rand. You know, is Min Lane the right location to have this kind of a business? Did she ask those questions? Especially Happy Simelane, because she spoke about Min Lane Mall. Min Lane Mall is in Pretoria. It's a big mall. It's just, that mall is huge. Like, if you've been to Min Lane, it's very huge, yes. She was supposed to ask all those questions. I'm not blaming her though. You know, this Tammy Taylor USA franchise, it's a legit business. It's something that is there in the USA. They're selling professional salon products. So you cannot tell me that that company does not exist. It does exist. But what I'm trying to say, if somebody is saying you are going to make 300 to 500,000 rand, how many stores do you have? Like, she was supposed to ask all those questions. How many people have bought this franchise? Can you give me the contact details of those people who have bought this franchise? But I heard somebody said they were given the financial statement for another business, not necessarily the Tammy Taylor a franchise. So that was another red flag. I don't know why she continued and bought that franchise. The reason why I'm making this video is very important to, to understand investing, especially if you want to grow your money and you want financial freedom. I will say it again, it's very important to learn about financial literacy because you'll easily spot the scams. If you know the right questions to ask when you want to invest your money, if something is just too good to be true, why are you investing into that thing? Because you lose your money. Imagine how much a salon makes a day. I don't think a salon can make 500,000 rand within a month. Like, let's just be honest. There are busy days on a salon. There are quiet days, obviously, but think about it. Can you make 500,000 rand within a month? Like, is it really practical? Can you make that money? Think about it at home. If somebody is telling you, no, you can make 500,000 a month just by doing nails. Just by doing nails. Does it really make sense? Should we blame the people who fell for the scam, or should we blame this couple, Mel and her husband, for scamming people? Because now you are not going to get your money, obviously. I think that it's very important to learn more about financial literacy, how to manage your money. It's very important to follow the traditional rules of the money. When you say, you know what, I know nothing about financial literacy, start reading the financial books. The first book that I read about money was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That's a very good book. I read The Richest Man in the Babylon. Those are good books, especially if you want to know about financial literacy. You need to understand budgeting. I'd say firstly, you just need to understand budgeting. It's very important to know how much you are spending monthly or on a daily basis. Let's say you are working, you are getting money every month. You need to understand the rule of pay yourself first before paying any bills. Just pay yourself first. And if you want to understand that principle, I recommend The Richest Man in the Babylon book to read. Like, that's a very good book. I'm not going to lie. It speaks about why is it important to pay yourself first. Like, you need to invest in yourself before paying your bills. You can't really tell me that you're going to save after you have paid the bills. No, you need to save first, then you can pay your bills later. You can even start by making your own emergency fund. How much are your expenses monthly? Like, how much are you paying at the end of the month? I'm talking about your bills. I'm talking about your expenses. Like, how much do you spend for food? How much are you spending for petrol if you don't have a car? How much are you paying for the public transport? Are you eating out? Are you that type of a person who spends money without even thinking? I'm talking about somebody who uses their emotions. If they're happy, they want to spend. If they're angry, they want to spend. Because they're being played by their emotions, so they decide to spend the money. These are the things that can help you. Do you even know your credit score? Do you have a bad or good credit score? What is a credit score? I've made videos on this channel. You can check, when I talk about credit score, what do I mean? You can check videos. I've made videos about the credit score. When you're talking about investing, what do we mean? When you're talking about investment, we're talking about buying stocks. What does that mean? Let's say you don't understand this term of investing. Maybe how's about you start investing on the tax-free savings account? It's not going to be taxed. Maybe you can start side hustles if you think that your salary is not enough. If you want to start a business, you need to do research, obviously. How much are you going to spend? How much money are you going to make? Understand your bank statement. Do you even understand your bank statement? So yeah, that's all I wanted to say today. See you on the next video. Bye.